Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper's Viperland, and I'm back here continuing more hacking Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This episode 5 is a meaty one. So we took a week off, so you know it's fine. Also, hey Ron and Ingram, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Hope you're having a good weekend. I say, knowing damn well it's been a relink weekend. You know, River Night in the Temple Training Hall. Right, is that what Godot was talking about? Yeah, the trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove these at once. Mr. Edward, I'm afraid I can't. Make shot here. It's not possible for me. What? During the earthquake, when the cabin was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. And I know that there was only one lock when I last came here. Crazy. Crazy. I got all the crabs I could today. I'm at 41. There's 4 remaining in whatever chapters are to come. I did all of Narmaya's 88 episodes or whatever, and that's about it. Oh, and I went looking around town for chests, because I did get the gold key. I had to go kill a cobra to get it. I had killed the cobras before, but not since getting that quest, it seems. That was all I did. I didn't do any, like, progression. Well, I guess I had to do that one little tiny quest of, like, unlocking hard. So. Yeah, I could do more, and I should. Once I have a good idea of, like, my actual party, I probably will. The people I want to focus on, but yeah. So you're saying that you can't undo the new locks? Yes. Only I was stronger. I don't know if that's the issue here, Miles. Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face. Like you want to talk with your face all green. Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go and get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous. I'm perfectly... There's no telling what sort of mistakes you could make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth. It's that or more whips, so you know, you may as well just go lie down. Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. We really just got everyone here. Alright, second fight was fun though. Oh yeah, that was a good one. I had still over-leveled that by that time. Considering I've only really been leveling one person, I was over-prepared for that fight, which was kind of fun. Even though, like, I had just hit 60, I was still just like, oh, okay. Whatever. He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in a corner in the garden. It is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. That's real funny coming from Von Karma. That's a hell of a line coming from the one, the only, the prideful Franziska Von Karma, who has definitely not let any amount of pride keep her down. Ever. Or dictate her entire life? No. Yeah, I will probably have to be a little extra prepared for her. I guess that makes sense to make hers a little spicier, since most people have to have leveled her up. That said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. Oh, okay, of course, yeah. Pride, it's awful, it's great, I love it, I hate it, it's the best, it's the worst. At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix. Weren't you supposed to... Alright, bye. Going to stay here and see if I can't help solve these bothersome puzzles. I see. Well, thanks for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris? No, not at all. Alright, well... Sure, we've got some questions at hand as soon as Mama knows. Why did you make a run for it, Iris? I'm sorry. I heard the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried, I just had to come and see. In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we're clear on that. Yeah, she wasn't trying to escape judgment or, you know, this case. She was literally just trying to make sure everyone was okay. I feel like we all get that here. I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the sacred cabin was alright, but... What? When I saw these chains here. some of these extra locks that somebody put in the sacred cavern store. Who in the world would do something like this? Good question. Good question. Trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Korean tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who set the lock can open it. It's a real... Yeah. We got this many of them? Ugh. You aren't the one who set these locks. I don't think it's that simple, Francisco von Karma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them. What does that mean? It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. The constants in life: death, taxes, and gotcha pulls. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. It means that Iris can only open one of these locks, the first one. Yes, that's correct. Well, you know, I'm glad that the constant is that I either may be or maybe I won't. Sometimes I am consistently inconsistent with how lawyerly I am. That's fine. I'm okay with that. What? Iris, try to think, please. Isn't there any way around this? Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them, but... It will take time, won't it? Yes, about a day if I had to guess. A whole day? Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure, I'll do whatever I can. Gotta wait another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on your inner strength now. I mean... Yeah, this is fine. You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get. What might that be? Call the fire department, cut the chains? Yeah, or, you know, try to shove food between the bars, bare minimum? Food and water? I don't know. Do you think any fire department person's gonna look at the bridge and be like, yeah, that's safe? Also, couldn't we just go buy bolt cutters? Wouldn't it take less than a day to go back to town, buy bolt cutters from a hardware store, and come back up here to cut the bolts? Well, you know, but then it's not a lawyer, detective, courtroom case game. It's a point-and-click, find the item, the rub item on right thing to win. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Then get it like a, you know, one of those like propane torches or whatever to melt through it. There's a way. It's a hardware store. You'll find something. I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident. We were seen that same evening at the Inner Temple. And then... you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hazakura Temple too. Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the Inner Temple, as if you were... Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. That son of a... Okay. Knew it. Something on here that we don't know about. More locks. The locks upon locks upon locks. I mean, I doubt I have the stuff for it, but let's just see what we have to work with. All these locks and not a bagel in sight. I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. Don't actually like bagels and locks, but you know. You said you were in your room at the Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be the truth? Yes, where I was. Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too, but I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder. Oh, this one we can do. She did. You specifically saw her at the temple. Talking about Sister Bikini, of course. Sister Bikini. Her testimony in court today was very clear. Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder. That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. The Acolyte's actually training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late. What time was that? Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple. So I would have left about 9:40 p.m. I think. Sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you. Huh? Now, you say you left the main hall at 9:40 p.m., but what you say doesn't add up with this. I should have looked this over again at some point before starting up for the night. Oh yeah. Her own. Literally her own. You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have. Who's that? Me! Mr. Wright. We even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten. No, that's right, I remember. And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the inner temple. And second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility. That's the only... On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time, which means there must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris. But that's crazy. How could that be? I know! That's why we're having this discussion! There's only one of me. It's impossible. Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise. You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Then show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there's more than one of me. Oh, I don't know if we have this. We might have made it this far and not have. I don't know if we have anything for this. And if... But it let us get this far immediately, which makes me think that, like, we're supposed to have this. Yeah, I need to look around and come back. If there's nothing else that we can find, then I'll start rubbing items, but that's the first one so far that I'm like, I don't know if we have that. Unlocked that is 5, yep. One sip for the card and something like Karen, yep. Yep. Okay. I don't think there's anything new here at least. We looked at this already. Yeah, let's start on the scroll at all. I'll never understand you Americans and your so-called artists. Artist, yeah. Definitely. That's a very American, traditional American style painting that was then covered in gravy. Yep. Actively in 2 places at once. Yeah. I'm gonna get into the bottom of this case. I can count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to gather more clues. From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and Pearls. Cops are still combing the place. I look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too if it's... Especially with somebody giving you the evil eye the whole time. America invented art, especially very traditional, like Japanese style scrolls. Fun note, invented in America. I've done that. Wow, can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth? Duh! Hey, don't you dare run away. What do you want, Wright? All I want? You came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away. I still can't believe that Phoenix fell all the way from that bridge on a snowy night with thunder while it was on fire. And the worst that happened is he got the sniffles that put him out of commission for a day. I still can't believe that. It's ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. Went back to the criminal affairs department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes. Thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. Oh? It's clearly. You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh? High chance this is the actual scene of the crime, that's why. I mean, because of the writing in blood? And the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been placed here after the murder. But surely, you don't suspect Maya, do you? We have to treat everyone as a suspect, Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right? So, guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes. Wow, way to really tactfully bring that up. No. Thankfully, my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath. 17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school, Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. Lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. My dreams, my family, and myself. It's been more than 17 years now. That case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? You ask as if it wasn't you there. I don't know that. I was there. So were you. We were both there. But such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. Sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake, and not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think, so no more of the self-pity, okay? There's something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. Like I'd seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. Like I'd seen her in court before. So I went back to the criminal affairs department to look for her file. Yes, I checked over every case file I've ever worked on. That was right. I had seen her face before, 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It was my first appearance in court. As cases go, it was my worst nightmare. So, who is she? I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public. What? Why not? Might be the crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case. Also, she might be an ex. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hazakura Temple. And neither did the case. That woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated? Yes, I can say that with complete confidence. You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. Do we have anything to present for that? I don't think so. If we did, it would be the thing to present to Iris, too. Yes. No, this. Nope. This. Get that piece of filth out of my face. Still mad, huh, Edgeworth? Know a thing or two about Larry Butts, just like you. We both know he likes to act up, but this, even he couldn't make something like this up. This is what he drew, then this is what he saw. As unbelievable as it may seem. I know, that's what I think too. Every single time I see that guy, he's in it up to his neck. I knew it, Edgeworth's still mad as a hornet at Larry. Could be, honestly. He's definitely got room for another dialogue. I just don't know if we have the right thing to rub on him first. Iris gave you this? Yes, and it really works. Help my fever go down quicker, I'm sure of it. So you say, but your face is as white as a sheet and sweat is running down your cheek. Anyway, it seems to me like there's something going on between the two of you. Actually, I don't know exactly why, but there's something about Iris that just tugs at me. I can't... What could it be about Iris that could stir any type of romantic, emotional response in you, Phoenix? I've no clue whatsoever. Can't figure out whether I feel like I know her or don't know her at all. Really weird. Who knows? The victim we knew nothing about, same as always. You'll tell me if you know something about a mystery woman, right? I know that Elise Do-Nothing was no ordinary visitor to the temple, but her true identity could be a useful weapon for the defense. Can't give that away just like that. Wow, so you expect him to tell you everything, but you're not going to share your info? Oh, Maya. Well, don't know Maya Fey very well, but it seems to me that the girl is always landing herself in trouble. Boy, howdy is she. Seems to me that you know her better than you think. I do sincerely hope she's going to be alright. One of the biggest names in the world of law, as I'm sure you'll agree. For better or for worse, we were only destined to meet once in the courtroom. I know, I read all about it. First time for the both of us, two novices head to head. I still remember how downhearted I felt after that trial ended the way it did. I wonder if Mia felt the same way too. It seems Pearl was trapped on this side of the river on the night of the murder. Did she tell you anything? Listen, Wright. He's just a kid. I can't force things out of him. You'll have to be the one to find out what she knows. Good to know he is, like, I'm not interrogating a kid. I'm not something of a legend, I hear. Say it like you don't know anything about him. Tell me what you know. It's a bit strange, actually. If he really was anything special, I should have heard about him by now. I'm always well informed about the rookies coming to the prosecutor's office, you know. You mean he isn't anything special? Should already know the answer to that. Although, there's one other possibility. What's that? He could have come into the profession from a different channel. What different channel? Necromancy. There's more than one way to become a prosecutor, right? Perhaps he started off as a defense attorney, but decided it wasn't for him. Defense attorney? Didn't even know you could switch sides like that. Just with Detective Gumshoe, I treated him to some pasta. You owe him that much. After all, it's your fault his salary's so low. How's it my fault? And look, if you're going to buy the guy lunch, at least get him something decent, okay? Gumshoe practically lives on pasta noodles already. Did order some extra Parmesan cheese on top. He was crying tears of joy as he dug into it. It was quite moving. All he had to do is give the poor guy a raise. Yes, he's right. It's crossed my mind once or twice that her testimony might be a bunch of lies. Certainly there are a lot of problems with it. Thing is, as far as I can tell, she has no reason to deceive us. I believe she did meet the defendant at the Inner Temple and witnessed the murder too. One of the Hazakura Temple courtyard in any case. We already covered this, yes. Apparently, Iris was taken in by the sisters here at the temple when she was a child. However, we still don't know much about her past, so we're looking into it. That reminds me, Edgeworth went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look up some stuff on her, and ask him what he's found. Yeah, clearly. Apparently he'd become something of an apprentice to Elise Do-Nothing. Yeah, something like that. He did this portrait for me earlier. That's great! Let's just leave it at that about Larry, alright? Looks like someone's still mad at the Butts for his performance in court today. It's been more than a year since I last saw Francisca myself. It seems that she's been dying to see you again. You really said that? I believe she wants to eat you for breakfast, or to put it another way, whip you silly. Literally and metaphorically. Oh. Go on, let her have her way. It would make for a great anecdote about my trip. Forget it, Edgeworth. Want to know how to run the perfect trial? There's a lot to study and learn. Oh, is that what you're studying about right now? I've sat at the prosecutor's bench for trials in 5 different countries now. First thing you must do is gain complete mastery of the language. It's quite a task. Never get anywhere then. It's taken me a lifetime to sort of master one language. We can't ask. Why can't we ask the obvious question? Alright. Bye. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. Sure gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out the shack just down the path. Maybe I'll find Larry there, sulking again. Oh, Mr. Nick. Pearls, what are you doing here? Nothing. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright? Well, we don't know yet. Oh, I see. Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry? This is the loser's shack, where losers get together to lose themselves. This is the what? Hey, we find comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that? Look, Mr. Nick. Mr. Luis did a picture of me. That's, great, Pearls. Going to gather firewood now? We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. So stay out of our way. Don't believe this. Why can't you try getting fired up over becoming a better man? No one believes a word I say anymore. Well, because you've lied most of your life. Every time you've ever been asked a question, you've either deflected it or lied. Why would people start believing you now? That just seems silly. Yo, Nick, I've done nothing but lie my entire life, and now nobody believes me when I tell the truth, or when I lie. What's up with that, bro? Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down. Oh, Mystic Maya. Well, this is going well. Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? I've got nothing to say to you, Nick. My life's here now with Pearl, 2 losers cooking potatoes together forevermore. What am I gonna do with him? Alright then, what do you think about this picture, Pearls? I think it's really well drawn. Can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing. Someone appreciates it. Stop getting the flames to look like that, you know? It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy. No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew. I'm telling you, Iris really flew that night. But, Mr. Luis. You too. Please don't look at me like that. Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase. I beg of you. Guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. Okay, so I was half asleep when I was here that night. I was wide awake after the lightning struck. I saw what I saw. Exactly like I drew in that picture. And it looks like I don't have any choice but to take the sketch at face value. What's it looking down in your face? Also, hey, yes, we have a... So it's just not going to read that? Okay. Well, give me a second. Why would it? Why would it read that message? I mean, perfectly fine. But no. I have paper covering my keyboard either. Leave it on now. We'll do.
Vipera dance, 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 Vipera
Hey,
dance,
what's with the looking down on your face?
Vipera dance, Vipera dance, Vipera dance, Vipera dance, Vipera dance, Vipera
Pearls?
dance, Vipera dance.
Yes, Mr. Nick.
Vipera dance, Vipera dance,
Pause,
Vipera
always.
dance, Vipera dance, Vipera dance, Vipera dance.
I needed to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you, and what exactly were you doing when it all happened? I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know? Sure, it doesn't really matter what I was doing, and does it, Mr. Nick? Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Do-Nothing's room reading a book together. But Miss Do-Nothing was murdered, and you, Pearls, were at the inner temple. Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls? I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick. Damn it! Holy crap. Like, I get it when, like, Iris has a bunch of locks. Get it. Cool. You don't know us. We're trying to help you, but, like, I get it. I get it when Larry's got a bunch of locks. He doesn't even tell himself the truth. I understand. But when it's like Maya or Pearls, it's like, come on. Give us a break. Please. Like, come on. Pearls is a kid, and when somebody tells a kid they've done something wrong, don't tell anyone about it, they're going to latch on to that, for sure. I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished. What are you talking about, Pearls? My spiritual power has disappeared. What? Her powers have disappeared? What do you mean your powers disappeared, Pearls? It's all over for me. Spiritual medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint. Hey, what are you looking at me for? Pearls? Did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hazakura Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps? Wow. Way to go, Nick. You made her cry. That was really cruel of you. Wow. Yes, I thought going to have to break her Cyclops to get the truth out of her. Definitely don't have what we need for this one, but let's try anyway. After dinner on the night of the murder, we were supposed to be in Elise Do-Nothing's room, reading a book together, correct? Yes, I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end. I didn't go? No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried, I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself, I was so nervous. So Pearls never went to Miss Do-Nothing's room, because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls? On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? The river. You went here, didn't you, Pearls? But she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? And the next question is, who or what were you so worried about? Now, I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay? You mean you know? If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth? Okay. You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is... Of course you're worried about Maya. It's obvious that you were so worried about what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it? You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was a special course. Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? Because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you? Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more... Sorry, Pearls. Thinking about what could have happened to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. Couldn't sit still at all. So I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the Inner Temple. And we're clear now that you went to the Inner Temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the Inner Temple? Probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. The real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started. There was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock. Till after 10? How did he know what time it was? Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out. I heard the lights out bell. The Asgard temple bell's pretty small though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing. I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. Didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible. I was trying to hear the bell? Tell me, Pearls. Why were you so worried about hearing that bell? Huh? Oh, I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell was because of this. The training started at 10? I don't know if she would have known about the lightning. She'd be so worried about the bell. It signals when training started, which would be Maya or Bikini? Or Elise, because that would be when she was supposed to meet up? Well, I guess that would prove that, like, she didn't make it. I'm gonna try that, but I do not think. Nope. Yep. Yeah. What is the sound of the bell? I don't know right now. I'm sure I probably do have the right stuff, but right now I don't know. We haven't gained anything. Sister Bikini is back at the main hall yet. Haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. Bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. Well, what's the damage? How's the sacred cavern? Like it survived, but we have a bigger problem now. Told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the sacred cavern. Who could have done that? The only people who know how to set those trick locks are those of the Korean tradition. We have Iris at the sacred cavern, trying her best to open them for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini. Oh yes, we were in the middle of a chat, weren't we? Yes, you were telling me how the Master of Korean disappeared 17 years ago. I wanted to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at this temple. About a week ago when Mystic Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that proved she was the Master, she said, "Someone is trying to destroy the Korean tradition's main family line. I am here to put a stop to them." Someone's trying to destroy the main family line? Only one heir to the title of Master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. That child becomes the new Master of Korean, and her daughter is the main family. All other mediums become branch family members, with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will plot to erase those of the main family line. Jeez. People suck. The power of the Master worth this much bloodshed? Man, people have fought and killed for worse. Doesn't make it good, but... You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is real. Yes, I do. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. But mostly her sister, during the Mask-to-Mask case. And during Maggie Bird's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most. Korean technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know? I mean, the ability to commune with the dead. That's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill? Suppose so, but all that power and influence, I kind of expected you to be really rich by now. You saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? Oh ho, you're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore, you say. All because of one little mistake. Mistake? What mistake? This one. 17 years ago, that's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident. That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is? Because the record still exists if you're interested. Locked up, of course. It was called the DL6 incident. Yeah, we've encountered it. That's the name of the file. DL6 incident? I knew it! DL6 incident. I know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago. Ah, that's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney in that case. A murder that took place 17 years ago. It's the first time in the country's history the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer. The medium who performed the channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother. Dark Mystic Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, investigators were spurred into action. But that man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he? That's right, he was. The case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It's the first case the world had ever seen the Korean tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media. The public, the judiciary, the people of Korean Village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Mystic Maya's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud. But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all. Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The Korean tradition has started to recover at last. With the new master wielding the power of the clan... Do you mean Maya? Spiritual power of the Korean channeling technique is in the blood. Maya's told me the exact same thing before. According to Maya, only the woman of the family can inherit that power. The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Ami. With each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master. The ones who don't become branch families, right? That's right. And that's always the cause of tragedy. You know, Maya had a sister too, an older sister named Mia. Ah yes, I've heard of her. What? You know about Mia? Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother. Lost her life. As a result. You know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition. Really? Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, as she grew up. I guess Mystic Maya got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mom and her aunt. Right, Misty Faye had an elder sister too. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the master's seat from her. Mystic Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know. Yeah, we know. Morgan. There's a name I know well. This is the, in case you didn't play the first two games, you're going out, or in case you played them a long time ago and forgot. Korean Village. What she did was terrible. It was all she could. It was all so she could make her own daughter the next master. Also, Seven. Yeah. Hey, Seven. How's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing, Vlad?
What the fuck?
I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, you must already realize that Iris... Huh? Iris? What's Iris got to do with any of this? That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter. Iris is what? Are you kidding me? Iris is Morgan Fay's daughter? Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Fay's daughter? Oops, thought you already knew. Sounded like you'd met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already. I have. I know her very well. Oh? Yes, Pearls. Pearl Fay. But I always thought she was an only child. Hell yeah, we got ourselves a dance. You jest. That child. She's Mystic Morgan's... No idea. Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she? Yes. Ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. Now we can dance to the music. It was all done to set Pearls up as the next master. I see. It's been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2. Wait, what? 3? Yes, Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl. What? Twin sister? Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago. After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Curion's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with him. How awful. He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up, to be looked after by us here at the temple. Well, that was Iris, you see. It's unbelievable. If Iris has a twin sister... Could it be? Tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini. What was the name of Iris' sister? Sorry, Mr. Wright. Just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler. Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Pearls had 2 older sisters, huh? Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family, that she just kept pumping out children, just furiously having children out of rage. Anger? What do you mean? Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband, but even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan. That's why she had pearls. It seems that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. He was able to break free of the bars that confined her. Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens. But this information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. I need to ask more questions and get some more info. We didn't actually get any... Like, we the player have knowledge now, but we didn't actually gain anything to present to anyone. So, you know. Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming? No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. What? Why is he singing a song about the channeling room? Oh, I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find are no good? That's not what investigating is all about. The investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's a passion. You know, if you found good clues, you might get paid more. Would never have guessed that Gumshoe was into reggae. Ah, yes. When I hear this background music with lyrics, I think reggae. Comrade Gumshoe. No. Reggae. Hey, pal. Huh? Who, me? How long have you been there? Just got here. Oh, okay. So what are you up to, detective? I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edgeworth. Promised I'd find the real murder weapon. Real murder weapon? That barbed sword thing turned out to be a false lead, right? Giving it my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues. Just found these weird scraps of paper. Looks like a letter or something. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though. Letter? I'm sure a torn up letter in a bloody area like this would have nothing to do with the case. How's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? I should be telling you, pal, but I guess it can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place in the Inner Temple Garden. They talk about that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ. What? You mean... Not the details, pal. All I know is, if you don't find Maya down in that sacred cavern, you're gonna be faced with one ugly situation. What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here? You got me. I don't know. Not my words, pal. Who said it? Mr. Godot. Godot? What do you mean by that? Not the letter you found. Don't remind me, pal. Busting a gut here trying to find the murder weapon. All I find is some burnt up old letter. Be careful. Once night should be there. As soon as you hear the bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Burnt up old letter? Yeah, it's in that incinerator right outside the inner temple. Incinerator? Knew it. I knew it was. I wasn't imagining it. It was snow in the incinerator when I first saw it. After the incident, the snow had melted away, which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder. What's up with you, pal? I got it right here if you want to take a look. Can I? Do you mind? Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and masters and stuff, but it's got no relation to the case. Spirit mediums? Yeah, I can't imagine that. It used to be got to be important if you mentioned spirit mediums and masters. Be careful. Once night falls, should be there. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Her name is... Here's our owl hole. Here's a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once this is burned up, also tell anyone about this letter. Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. So it's a friendly letter that has no bearing on this case whatsoever. I'm going to take a sip of my drink real quick. Okay. Better give it a good looking over and some serious thought. Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done. Littering's a crime, pal. So, what do you know about the real murder weapon so far? Well, it wasn't the really long-named sword that was found impaled on the victim's body. Mr. Edgeworth proved that in court today. Yes, that's true. In which case, it must have been another blade. And that's what you're running around like a headless chicken looking for now, huh? Yeah, and man, it's a tiring work. But let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We got the feather of forensics in our camp these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this. Secret weapon? What's the secret weapon of yours? You want to know? You gotta think scientifically, okay? Alright. The murder weapon was a sword. Swords are, scientifically speaking, made of metal, right? Any questions so far? No, I know what he's gonna say, but I'll let him look smart. That's a perfect tool for the job! Ta-da! Metal detector. Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you want to give a scientific investigation a go? Huh? Me? I've been using this thing for hours now. It's pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try? Oh well. Should I help Detective Gumshoe out or not? Yeah, let's do it. Come on, pal. It's good fun. I'm telling you. Alright then, guess I'll give it a go. Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget, the absolute best. So sensitive you can make it cry. It's so high-tech you could skydive off it. Okay. Oh, bother. So now I'm going to tell you how to use it. Possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right? Sure, what we're trying to find out. Right, so first, let's turn the detector on. That's the sound of the metal detector signal bouncing off something metallic. Next, move the detector around and give this courtyard a good look-see, pal. Don't worry, it's be able to let you know when you've hit on something metallic. When that happens... Oh, I didn't hit the button twice. Alright, well, hit a button. This thing picks up metallic objects that are hidden. Take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious. Okay, pal? I didn't hit the button then either. I think it's just going. Let it tell you. Okay. Clearly metal up here somewhere. No, okay. Something up in the eaves? Can't tell from here, pal. Just forget about it. Forget about it. But it's right under at least Do Nothing's window. It's a perfect spot for hiding something long and thin like a sword. I'm gonna take a look. It's nothing, thank goodness. Someone just dropped a spoon. Why are you so happy about that? Well, imagine if the murder weapon had turned up there. Made me look pretty dumb, huh? At least he recognizes that much. That's a spoon. I wonder if this could be just bare skis, nothing useful for a case here. I'm actually pretty good at skis, you know, pal. Still love to fly down the slopes with my coat fluttering in the wind. Really? I had no idea. How good are you then? Well, better on skis than I am on skates, but not as good as when I'm on a snowboard. It's a pretty detailed answer. Oh, but you know what I'm best at? Making mashed potatoes and gravy. Guy's losing it. Must be the altitude. Better get back to the investigation. This sled's made of plastic. It says Bikini number 1 on the sign. Maybe there's something under it. Hey, what's this? A badge? Aha! Been hunting high and low for that. Yours, detective? Thanks priceless to a guy like me, pal. Cop can't be a cop without his badge. Sure glad I put that dime in there now. How did you manage to drop your badge here of all places? I know. Been happy this morning. Playing around with the sled and right there. I don't need to hear anymore. What's this, a pen? Hey, I've been looking all over for that, pal. Huh? It's yours. Man, could this guy contaminate a crime scene anymore? Well, a man gave it to me when I was qualified as a detective. Told me it'd be good for sticking in suspects' faces. Makes your detective sound really nasty. It's my dream to stick it in your face one day, right? Don't go losing it. It's like there's something round burning around here. Don't touch that, pal. Huh? What is it? It's a trap. People set them out to catch us detectives. They're real nasty. A trap for detectives? You know those fierce traps with sharp teeth that are supposed to snag your leg? Yeah, those. Got my finger caught in one of those once. Finger? It's this bit of cheese. It looks so tasty. I reached out and then bam! Not sure how to respond. I'm not sure I know how to respond to a story as stupidly pitiful as that. Oh, but there's clearly something actually buried there. Oh my god. Okay, so we're just gonna gloss over it. It's a nothing. Don't worry. This is Miss Do-Nothing's staff, isn't it? Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood. The detector is reacting to it. Yeah, but however you look at it, the thing's made of wood, alright? I don't bother investigating anything unless it looks like it's made to be metallic. The whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it. It's weird that thing is causing a racket. Here, let me take a look at it. Hey, hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the... The top is coming off. What have you done? You've damaged a really important piece of evidence. You've contaminated everything in this crime scene. Ah! Ah, but that's a sword. It's a staff. Could it be a murder weapon? There's got no blood on it, but I never guessed there'd be a sword concealed on the victim's staff. Oh, this kind of thing is sword cane, pal. This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed her own foot. I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. The real scene of the crime was the inner temple garden, then why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Hey, Gumshoe? Who knows about the hidden sword? No one. Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now. Let's just say, there's no team in Gumshoe. Doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it. I guess this isn't the murder weapon, huh? No. Sure, someone just wiped it off after the murder. Yeah, of course. This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal. It's about the same length as the long-named sword, too. This must be the murder weapon. Okay, gonna run it over to forensics. There's gotta be some trace of blood left, even if most of it's been wiped off. See you later, pal. Okay. I mean... Wait up, detective. Huh? What is it, pal? I'm a pretty busy guy right now, you know? Gonna get that staff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off for just a while? Huh? What are you talking about, pal? Please. Just until we find Maya. Maya? What's that got to do with... This got to do with her? Oh no, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Oh, how so? Look, Maya's trapped inside the sacred cavern right now, and, well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel. You don't think? Maya's been... Please, detective, let's just wait until we can get inside the sacred cavern. You're kind of pretty in there. Okay, just stop with that face, pal. One thing, though. The staff's secret trick. Let's keep it between you and me, alright? If it gets out that we knew about it, we didn't say anything, we're finished. Understand? It's just a regular, run-of-the-mill staff. You got it? Okay, now you take good care of her, pal. Thank you, detective. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Gumshoe, you know there's a place at the base of this mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when you find Maya, huh, pal? Sure, thanks. That's the sword inside. No one knows except me and detective. Can't help but wonder, though. What was Elise Do-Nothing doing with a staff like this in the first place? Well, we have one new piece of evidence then. I feel like we have to ask... It's gotta be Edgeworth, right? Oh, there you go. Okay. We do have that. Hey, Edgeworth? Did you know that Iris had a twin sister? What? A twin? You can't be serious. Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There's nothing about Iris having a sister in the files, I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think. Jeweler. Right, I just might know who this twin sister of hers is. Yeah, you and me both. It's possible that when we think of somebody who might look almost identical to Iris, same age, same facial structure, same hair, except for maybe slightly different color, we might have, you know, I have a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right? Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please. Yeah, Edgeworth doesn't know they dated. The first court case 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died. Talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case. You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. Checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. Five years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Sorry. Sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh, and this is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? Simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead. What? Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. That Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty. thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey. The time Dahlia, it's like she was possessed by a demon or something. Almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month. Executed? But that's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. But do you understand now? You can't possibly be connected with this case. She's dead. When someone is dead, there's no way to revive them. There's no way that any person on this hilltop could possibly have used the Korean channeling technique to channel her. I'd argue that her being dead actually only makes it more likely she's involved in this case. Phoenix Wright is a weird series when you think about it like that. But, yeah. So-and-so is dead. It's actually more likely that they're involved in this murder than... Huh. There's no way to revive the dead. Wonder. Students are not aware of one other connection yet, Edgeworth. What is that? It's not Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's their mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fay, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Korean channeling technique. Did you say Korean channeling technique? Yeah, duh, that's the whole, this entire... Do you know something about it? Oh yes, I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? Was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. Was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of the channeling school. Do you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. They were all fraudulent. Edgeworth. Go to the police records room. It's all there. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file and you'll know. We were there! Of course, how could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then you'll see that the Korean channeling technique is real. Well, we finally have some more stuff, so we might actually be able to do this. But per usual, I'm going to save first. But we were damn close last time. It's a shame it means we have to start the whole thing over or whatever. Alright. Teeny's all here somewhere else. You testified before. Do you? You have a twin sister. A firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps. That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne, a woman I know only too well. No idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer... Yes, I know. The sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? Sorry. Thank you. No need to explain now, is there, Iris? The second you, who was here the night of on the temple on the night of the murder, is your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne. You just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that? Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground for the Korean channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. That's the secret you've been trying to hide from me. Well, we found it out anyway. Oh, thank goodness I needed that back. I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I had been spotted at the inner temple, I knew. I knew it was my sister, Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month. Just as I suspected. The Iris, Sister Bikini saw at the Inner Temple on the night of the murder. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because my sister always does the right thing. Oh, that is not true. That is so not true. Holy crap. Excuse me? Because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I've already betrayed her once before, and I can't do it again. Betrayed her? What do you mean? That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way. What is she talking about? You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here in Eagle Mountain 11 years ago. That's the start of it all. It's what started her down that twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end she lost her life. All because I betrayed her. How did you betray her, Iris? It's no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing. What? I got scared, so I ran away. What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father, that's awful. I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money. Huh? It was revenge on our father. Revenge? What do you mean by revenge? He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and sent her to hell. Mother? You must be talking about Morgan Fay? My mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fay family. The main family had a lot of influence in many businesses and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, her mother was set to inherit all of that as the next minister. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. Oh, well, that was always going to be a happy time then. But his plan backfired, because our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over as the master of currying. That would be Misty Fay, Maya's mother. Before long, the credibility of the Korean tradition hit rock bottom. New master, Misty Fay, made a terrible mistake during the investigation of the DL6 incident. That happened. Our father took me and my twin sisters away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick dive, that he had no reason to stay there. That's when he came to Hazakura Temple? Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his new family, you see. No. I haven't seen my mother once since then, having the master's seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family. But she's been very battered, spiritually and emotionally. Yeah, she also tried to murder people. As you do. I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together. I've asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it, goes back to the history of the Fay clan. That's what it looks like. Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me. What is it? During the incident in which your sister, Dahlia Hawthorne, poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, you heard anything about him? Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts. Yeah, that checks out. Phoenix is like, oh. I see. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There's still much to investigate. Use these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise. Thank you. I suppose I'd better continue my investigation. Still one giant secret left to unlock. Yeah, well, I mean, now we could pretty much piece together she must have done the channeling. Which is gonna look bad. Gonna look bad. Where's she again? Oh yeah, she was with the butts. Look at that. They really did make a fire right in front of the shack. Oh, Mr. Nick. You're too late, Nick. You came here for one of our potatoes. We've already polished them all off. I think I pretty much got all the evidence I need. I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding. Ooh boy. I mean, I could be wrong, but like all signs point to Who could have... Well, she said she failed. Well, we're gonna find out, ain't we? We're gonna find out. Her inhumane amount of locks. I still don't know why she didn't... She wanted to listen for the bell, though. Oh, no, never mind. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. I do know. Just took a second for the brain to catch up. Yeah. You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper. Where did you? The incinerator at the inner temple. Pearls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell. I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing. These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls. For me, I know. As you can see, a large portion has been burnt. The last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Ugh. Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was... I mean, it's... But she said she failed. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was on the letter. Ah. Just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini met at the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, or more specifically, Pearls. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of woman Dahlia Hawthorne was? No. Never heard of anyone with that name before reading those instructions. Thought so. Pearls didn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without a question. Here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? I mean... all signs point to... Misty Faye, but why would she do that? If she is the master, why would she want to roast... All signs point to me. That's the only one here she'd just blanket trust, though, it seems. But other than... Iris would be the only other person it could be, but, like... He even said, don't think about it too much. Also, Ark, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in chat. Just gonna go with the guts. This is the person who wrote the instructions, isn't it, Pearl? You must have had a lot of faith in them to follow their instructions to a T. I had a lot of faith in you, Mr. Nick. Oh, thanks. But I don't think I can trust you anymore. Ah, crap. Ouch. Trust, no questions asked. The only other person she would trust no questions asked is Aya. Damn it! So we're gonna fail this. We're sort of gonna fail this. There's only two other people it could be. Maya was a stretch, but like there could have been some... I don't know. I don't know why Maya would have been. They said, don't overthink it. Someone she would trust implicitly, and Maya fits that. Like, would she trust Bikini or Iris implicitly? Like, really? Those are the only other two people it could be. Like, the only people it could be would be Maya, not even Pearl, Bikini, Elise, I guess technically, but there's no way he writes well enough. I guess Bikini, because she's running this place? Maybe I'm just trying to avoid picking Iris. Cool. Well. Oh, it just boots us out? Okay. Well. Back here. I do like that it doesn't give you a game over, but it doesn't leave you with a lot of breathing room when you're attempting this again, either. What? Well, let's load the one with more HP.
He might actually be
Like,
dead.
I swear I'm not throwing rocks. These are, like, I'm actually... Those are me making educated guesses, which only makes it worse, to be fair. I get that makes it worse. I mean, I'm not saying it is. Like, it sounds so easy, and yet I've gotten it so wrong. Oh. Somebody could have passed along the message. It says she's in solitary confinement. Like, she would trust her mother, clearly, but, like... She wasn't here. Okay. Alright. That's... She's the only, like... Faye left that I hadn't said anything about. So, it's gotta be her. And it makes sense she would implicitly trust her mother. But I was just like, yeah, she's not here. How could she have gotten it there? Oh, damn it! Screwing everything up. Okay. Oh, yeah. Prime form. It's fine. Once we get to the trial, I'll get everything right, right? That's how we do. Gotta just finish off the hot chocolate while we go. It keeps making me bounce between people and evidence and people and evidence. How dare you, game? Pearls, I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? We followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why. How did you? I figured it out. The person who wrote this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. Duh. Wow. Alright, Pearls. It's time you started telling me the truth. Mr. Nick, why is she holding back from me? I don't like this. Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child. Huh? You're trying to say I followed these instructions. I'd like to see some proof. What? Because I don't think you have any. She said anything rather than admit to carrying out these instructions. Excuse me. Guess I'll have to provide some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. You're right, there's no evidence that proves it was you. I knew it. However, I do know that whoever did it was a child. How do you know that? Couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that. Simple mistake? What do you mean by that? Sure, you thought you were carefully following the instructions you've been given, but you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence that proves it. Oh, mother, father, I don't know this one. Alright. Alright, that's pretty good. I can't believe that was important evidence. As soon as I was reading through it, I was like, no. No. It was you who splattered Creepy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it? What? Why would I do something like... You remember what was written in that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. We didn't know how to read the word gravely and roast, among others, right? How did you know that? Remember the conversation you had with Miss Do-Nothing the night of the murder? Oh, imagine showing somebody the note plotting their murder. Ooh. Sure, Miss Do-Nothing taught you how to read gravely and roast, but what she didn't teach you, what they meant. Gravely sounded like gravy to me. Gravely sounded like gravy to me. The only roast I could think of was the food. That's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast. To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. Guess I really did get the wrong idea. Just a teeny bit. I really am useless. Couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right. Yep, they said pot roast too. It's written right in my mother's letter. Said, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Found my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring. So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit? No. Tried, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. Tried and I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. I just couldn't do it. Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh! Just like that. So she never managed to channel the spirit. What do you think, your spiritual powers are gone? Yes, I don't know what to do. Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? I suppose it's only one other possibility. It's not very likely, though. Can you please tell me what it is, anyway? Could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone else? What do you mean? Well, there's only one of each spirit, right? Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken. Thanks, Larry. And that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a failure. Couldn't even grant my mother's final wish. Her final wish? Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. Make sure you follow the instructions carefully. This letter. Definitely need to find out more about it. After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple. A pot full of the leftover gravy. Gravy? Saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I'm sure it was the master of currying, like it said in the letter. Let's see, and then, well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area. Guest area? Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over. Why didn't you just go to the training hall? Mystic Maya's main training had already started and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then Pearls? Did you fall asleep? Sorry, I didn't mean to. Just couldn't help it. Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris too. It happens. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped in the inner temple. Yes, when I woke up it was morning. I tried not to cry, but that ski bridge wasn't there anymore, and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter into the incinerator, then I heated up the leftover gravy and let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried. Must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know it's like Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry. My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary. Yeah, I know, Pearls. I visit her every month, and last month she told me. The time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. The good of the Fae clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now listen carefully and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden. Well, that explains how the letter got out. My mother is always nice to me. I love her very much. It's such a shame. She's so bad. Yeah, moms will do anything for the kids, right? Like murder, or murder, or murder. She's really just stuck on... I think she just wants to murder someone and having a kid is the excuse, you know. She said it was for the good of the Fae clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fae clan, so it had to be good for her, too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick? I guess so, yeah. There's a picture with her letter, too. Picture? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit. But this time... Pretty weird, huh? Larry knows anything about this stuff. Something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before. That sure is pretty strange. Someone had opened it already. That letter updated in the court record. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out. You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright. If your mother was watching over us, Mystic Maya would have been dead so many times already. That innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Huh. Finally figured it out, have you, Trite? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is. Godot! The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. Guess he's talking about Iris on a lock-breaking effort. It's all a waste of time. But why do you say that? Because Maya Fey isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about. How could you say something like that? It's your job to protect her, Trite. It's like it was your job to protect Mia Fey. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances. I realize that, but you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. Man, I get where he's coming from. He's been through some stuff. I get that. And he clearly has some small issues with Phoenix, we'll go with. But like, man, how could Phoenix have saved Mia? Like, in any way? Like, I guess he could have psychically known maybe harm could have come to her and just never once left her side ever, which would have been awkward beyond belief. And not feasible. And every single step of this way, he's been with Maya, except when she had to do the thing alone. And if he had been like, no, I have to go over there with her, they wouldn't have let her do the training. So short of, again, psychically knowing something bad would happen up here and being like, we'll never go there. And even then, she probably would have been like, I don't have to do what you tell me, Nick, and gone. Like, she's her own person. At this rate, she's almost 20, right? Like 18, 19 in this game? I get where he's coming from, because he's had some stuff happen, but he's really just taking it out on Phoenix. And it's really not something Phoenix could have helped in either case. Short of psychic powers. Like, yeah, he's honestly taking care of Pearls at this rate. What did I just say, Wright? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. What you call oblivious, anyone else would call, just not being psychic? Tomorrow. Settle everything in court tomorrow, once and for all. Alright, let's do it. Mr. Nick, is what that man just said true? Be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick. My dear Pearl, done so well, my child, my Pearl. Better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. Blood of the main family is no more. Now, finally, for all this time, the master's seat is yours, my last great wish. It seems I was just in time. Godot is the only person in the history of this game to expect somebody to just psychically know when murders are going to happen and prevent them. Like, I'm sure if Phoenix could do that, he would. But he can't. Alright. Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself? Ah, morning, Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya? Sorry, you don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. I see. So his sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall. No, she's the defendant in the case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then, how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. You're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Edgeworth? What's Iris doing over there? Going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? Hurt me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Ah, that's really bad then. Wait, what? Prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession, or so I heard. Francisca von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is it? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot? Francisca's engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks, with the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. Strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold onto someone else, literally. With that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. Well, still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. Circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise do nothing. No, I mean Miss Misty Fey. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. Well, you know what she's really after. Like, that's the most obvious thing. She's been consistent. She may be evil, but she is consistent. She wants the Fey family dead, so that her family can be the main family, aka Pearls. Like, that's all she's wanted. It will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. My gut tells me from this, like, I think, like, oh, maybe we can finish tonight. My gut's like, it's gonna be like, too much more. Definitely too much more. Definitely no chance. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Your Honor? What are you... Who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. That's his brother? Why is his brother Canadian? Okay. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. You see, Your Honor. Their brothers, that explains a lot. Poor brother, he looked a bit pale. Not to mention, said he couldn't be here. Or sad he couldn't be here. Impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Goodell. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Goodell, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. Coffee. Bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. Yep. So then you mean, get it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Iris, why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. When meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. My name is Iris. I'm but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something that you want to confess to? Yes, but first I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright. What is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Do Nothing? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mr. Galise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it. What? Order in the court. Order. Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that's correct. What? Okay, cool, great, awesome. 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. This happens to be that in this case, it's the murder. Thanks, Godot. Isn't that right, Mr. Trey? Godot. So this is the confession they were conferring about. Pains me to say this. It looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Iris' testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering for someone. Now I'm definitely at the creek without a paddle, or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Mazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. Sorry, but main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey. Huh? Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya? Every case, somehow Maya's involved. We're not even sure if she's alive. Order in the court. So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer? Terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. That's ridiculous. Maya could never do such a... Defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. That's clearly where Godot wanted it to go. Went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. Saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. When Mystic Maya was still shambling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. Only in self-defense, you can't blame her for it. No part of that adds up. Like, why would her mom try to kill her? So it was in self-defense. Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. Sure, it was established yesterday. But Iris never went to the inner temple that night. But the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple. Did she now? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? In the inner temple's training hall. Private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness? I just couldn't tell him the truth at the time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder. There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden? You're saying that the victim attacked Maya, Miss Faye. Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse. What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? Terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. Couldn't even speak. I was in such shock. Perfectly understandable, my dear. Doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. What happened after that? Moved in to deliver a fatal strike? Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. Dagger, huh? At least Do Nothing tried to stab her with this weapon. To kill Miss Faye. Yes, exactly. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcester sauce. Did the smell not give it away, Godot? Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris' testimony? Oh, we were said not to say anything about it because then we'd look bad, but like... You know it's not a dagger? And I mean, Gumshoe's not here, so... Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. Ew. This witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a minute, that's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now, let's continue. She threw her staff away. Mr. Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon. It's true, it's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff. Mr. Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff. Yes, that's what I saw. Anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Yeah, it's odd, alright. Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with the dagger, I'm sure of this. And then, Mystic Maya, she turned things around and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike. Witness, are you absolutely certain? Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. Mystic Maya hadn't done something. Maya Fey's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. Yes, I see. I mean, we know this isn't what happened, but if it was, it really does seem like a open and closed case of self-defense. Like, we know it's not how it happened, but if somebody corners you, bludgeons you over the head with a blunt object, casts it aside, takes out a knife and goes for a killing blow, and you happen to be able to turn it around and get away, but like, you had to kill them in the process? Like, isn't that, like, yes, you've killed a person, but like, isn't that very clearly self-defense? Again, it's clearly not how it happened, but like, you know, still can't put the pieces together. Unless I find a contradiction in her testimony, Maya's gonna get blamed for this. I only have this to say. It's only in self-defense, you can't blame her for it. You're saying Maya Fey was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Do-Nothing to death. Sister Iris, is that really what you saw? Yes.
Objection!
Tisk, right? Your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions. The only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this. I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get, Trite. It's called evidence. Now hurry up, or my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is Doe waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be admissible as evidence, I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, we need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. Don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Well, sorry Gumshoe, but Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh? Just Do-Nothing throwing your staff away makes no sense at all to me. But all you can do with a staff is hit someone. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. At least Do-Nothing really had wanted to kill Maya Fey. She wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger, not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trite. Never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy, and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose the dagger over her blade. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. There's something strange about this whole testimony. Almost right, the prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument. Mr. Wright, I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Do I? Miss Elise Do Nothing would never attempt to take the light of my... Oh, okay, well, that's fair. Like, that was the first thing pointed out, huh? Is that not it? Well, Mr. Godot? You asked me. Damn it. Okay. Bull crap, but that's whatever. Yeah, I know it's obvious. That's what that was for. What else do we have that ties that? The painting's been covered over. Oh, I guess it's just on her portrait. Okay, cool. That's fine. I didn't read that. I didn't see it got updated. Elise Do Nothing would never have attacked Maya Fey. How can you be so sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Do Nothing. Her real name was Misty Fey. Okay? No. Not Mystic Misty Fey. Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to... Misty Fey is the master of the Korean channeling technique. She is also... mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Do Nothing actually the great Mystic Misty? There's no doubt about it. Looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years, well, her only living daughter. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing? Yeah, since we're talking evidence, you got any? You got some evidence? Evidence? Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter. Despite the facts being believable when taken on their own, when taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that's impossible. Except for one little thing. Yes? What is this one little impossible thing? At least I don't get it. Maybe my beans are under-roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. To get to your point, I read this witness's confession this morning. Just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. Oh my god, how is he alive? Well, you're going to ruin your health, my friend. Anyway, to hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And discovered this little beauty. Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? Well, you mention it. If you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger is stuck in the back side of the pine tree. The last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women. This little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Huh. Are you even listening, old man? First heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? Didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed at such short notice. Oh, so it could be anything. You could have just found a dagger and be making this up right now. Like, okay. In the case, the course will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Hey, look, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Dagger added to the court record. Found me on a tree in the inner temple garden. The blood is being analyzed now. Okay, now then. Testimony we just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, For having found this very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Cute girls never lie. Ever. Oh, we know that to be objectively false. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. Then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it's been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. It seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Judge, maybe one day side with us. Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all this? What do you mean? Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued the battle. I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden stone lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so I think that's why they didn't see me. It was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Miss Maya Fey do after she was struck? What happened to the victim's staff, then? I'm not sure. The area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated. That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger. Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And at some point, Mystic Maya picked it up. Nothing sounds especially strange yet. What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her? You know, you think if the dagger had struck a giant stone lantern, would have, like, nicked it a bit, or had some obvious, like, break of the tip or something? I mean, but that would just be, you know, thinking about things logically. That's fine. Suddenly, You're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim? Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger. Still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering somebody at knife point is just silly. As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified. The animal analogies have grown tiresome. You were the one who started it! Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim into the stone lantern, what happened next? You're absolutely certain that's what you saw? Yes, I'm almost certain. Almost? The garden was dark. Couldn't really tell who was who. What did she just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely. We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise Do Nothing. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? Don't have anything to counter that yet. Well then, witness, please continue with your testimony. Two of them faced each other for a moment. Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Then Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground. So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh? Yes. Where did that dagger go? I have no idea. It was dark and I couldn't see. Into the detective who found the dagger. It was stuck into the pine tree in the garden. Most likely it was flung towards the tree after the struggle. That is the most likely explanation, yes. After being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away? Well, Now that I think of it, she seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while. Mystic Maya stood there, not moving an inch. Felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then, suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over. Seems like a reasonable story at first, but one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone alone is impossible, which means this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction in it somewhere. And unfortunately, I don't see it yet. Oh, well, there you go. What do we do here? Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Till now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? What do you mean, what is the meaning of this? We just said the thing! What do you mean, what's the... It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? No! Is that all you have to say? And also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? Point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away useful staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter. And now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. Certainly some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. To pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Are you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. Human needs one thing to see clearly. That is coffee. Light. Light. By the way, did you know? Sakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte's at the inner temple training, the stone lantern of the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor, but according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Possible? Been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. It could have been faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. No, it hasn't. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. Also explains why they didn't recognize each other. Can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Ah, yes, I often walk up to somebody in a pitch-dark area and start just assaulting them relentlessly with murderous intent. I mean, if they were somebody I knew, I'd stop. But since I can't see who they are, why not just go straight for murder? Isn't that right, Trite? No! Order, order. Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will rekindle a flame of truth in your mind. Alright, so it was not lit. Great. Excuse me, sorry. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look in his face every Tuesday? Of course, yeah. What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood! Oh boy. Well, the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? It says Maya upside down. What the? Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing down on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body. Certainly looks that way. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean? What are we all talking about? Talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Because he has red tinted glasses, he can't see the red on it. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now to think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. Oh, I mean that too, I guess. My eyesight's pretty messed up. Maybe there's that too. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then, let's move on. I was literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established. Miss Do-Nothing was killed by Maya Fey. It's just wrong. It's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the long-named sword to alter the way the wound looked. They moved the body. Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Do-Nothing was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin. A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I intend to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but... You were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. The story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Alright, another one. You waited until everything was over before making a move. No, it's not like that. She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. Not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't it your job as the judge to mediate the argument? It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done. So then, you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey. Yes, of course I did. That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Anyway, she was a very special person indeed. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. Thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene. You moved her body all by yourself? Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. Snow, huh? Dragged it behind me all the way across Dusty Bridge, and used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple, and I used the long name oh, we read this. It's pretty amazing you could make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge. Looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age. Like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. It's one of the things that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? Would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple. Thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya, so I tried to take the body as far away as possible. Makes perfect sense to me, for the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? Snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was in question the other day. Can I ask for more details? You really did move the body by snowmobile. Then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally. You would expect tracks. The picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride? Yes, I think they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. Let's see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple. Let's see. Snow was still falling, huh? And when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there's such fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? Nothing I've heard sounds strange at all. Better not get too worked up about it. I'm fine, Your Honor. No problems with the testimony. Anyway, sorry, I thought that was immediately going to go to the next one. I want to pick the other one. The tracks weren't it. Snowmobile? Let me hear more about the snowmobile ride. Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge. Sorry, witness. But now, I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? The doe? What are you up to now? At night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the inner temple back to Hazakura Temple. Yes. I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates. Let's recall her comments on the subject. What's that? The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Order! Mr. Godot! Why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony? Let's just say I like things to be neat and tidy, okay? Well, maybe. Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it. Think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just, you'd better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. Smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What's that all about? Why would Godot want to give me a hint? Oh, hold on, let's continue with the testimony. So it's transfer the body of a snowmobile. Yep. Is that what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw you? Yes, that's right. She probably thought it the worst. Probably. More like definitely. I see. So Sister Bikini mistakenly thought you were the one that murdered Miss Do-Nothing. So sorry, please forgive me. It's my fault this case has gotten so confusing. Yes, but not because... Yes, but not because of the way you think. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Paris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. Why would she want to do that? The one reason I can think of. know what evidence we have right now that works for this. What was the plan? Would she... Like, there doesn't seem to be any bloody trail left as she dragged a body that was freshly stabbed through the snow, but we don't have any evidence that really shows that. We know the contradiction between what Bikini saw and what she said, but Godot pointed that out, so like we can't even point that out. Part. I mean, you're right, it can't hurt. It is still something else, even if it's just the footprints. Also, hey Rose, by the way. How's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Any good news about power on your end? Snowmobile. That's true. It never hurts to add something to the testimony, even if it seems inconsequential. At least gives something else for her to lie about. You're gonna feed right now. Oh, what are you getting? That's a good sign. Man, I had some very, very good boneless spare ribs yesterday into today. It was a big order, so I had some yesterday, some today. When it took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Honor, I like the statement Iris just made to be added to the testimony. Cheeseburger, heck yeah. Hard to go wrong with cheeseburger, honestly. It really is. But does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. This should be fun. You, let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. Snow already stopped. There have a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true? Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. Sorry. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right, I'm sorry, Huffy. I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh? What's going on here? The snow really had stopped by the time of the murder. I mean, there's a bigger hole in her story than the movie The Grid Revelations. What? What? Well then, Mr. Trank, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us? Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather, at the end of your index finger. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder. Okay, we saw that. No, it already stopped. It didn't? Approximately 10:50, yeah. So it's... I'm sure Godot will have something to say. Uh-oh. Crap. Crap. No, it already stopped. But not the weather report? I just kind of assumed it was the weather report. What happened? The murder happened, the snow had already stopped. Oh. Yeah. But that's... I already presented that. Bridge is the answer, but... But we don't have another piece of evidence for the bridge. I mean, that, but I'm not going to present that. I get the concept. The concept is... if the murder took place... By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. By the time the snow had stopped, the bridge was on fire. How did you cross the bridge? But I don't know if we have any evidence explicitly... Again, I would have thought it was the weather data. We started to try it and it didn't work. I think people... It is definitely this one. And why is it not the weather data? It should be the weather data. The sketch is the only other thing I can think of. That definitely seems the weird way of presenting. The thing was on fire, by the way. Leave it down here again. I don't want to just throw rocks. Definitely did weather data, right? The only one I can... I think it's stupid. We're gonna lose points, yeah. You know what, just to make sure I'm not an idiot. Did do this, right? Yep. No idea. I really don't. Now I'm just throwing things that seem related, which is not ideal. I get the core concept, but I clearly don't get the evidence. No, no, definitely no. I doubt it, but... yeah. Theoretically, we could point at the bridge on the map, but no. Have I been putting this on the wrong one? Am I? No. Okay. Yeah, that was on the right one. I don't know why I moved. Scroll isn't it. Foot of Release definitely isn't it. Iris's Hood isn't it. I don't think it's either of the swords. Yeah, but I don't have any evidence that shows that. Like, that's my thought, is both... Well, it's twofold. It's both the bridge should be on fire, and there should be a long trail of blood up into the snowmobile. But we don't really have evidence to support that. Or, the real problem is it's definitely just me. Yeah, like, I feel like I've eliminated the logical options. But now we start with the illogical, just from one end and work our way down. If you remember what it is, Ramen, just because at this rate I am throwing rocks, do you remember if it's at least... You don't have to tell me what it is, but is it at least evidence or a person, if you remember? It feels like it should be evidence, not a person. I'll at least go through the actions of throwing rocks as my punishment for not understanding. I'm glad that wouldn't be this, but we have to throw everything. Really? Really? Okay. Then it has to be that one. But I don't know what to present on that one either. It has to be this then. That's the only other one. None of these things are like... Because we could present that to be like, they were bleeding. Actually, probably the one of those as the like, they were bleeding is probably the best I can think of for now. It shouldn't matter because that was far enough away. Same with the track. Well, in theory, the track's photo shows that there wasn't any blood. Also, that she didn't seem to be dragging someone. The track's photo is an option too. I think my best bets are either something that proves she was bleeding or the track's photo. My gut says dagger, even though my gut says dagger and my mind says that's stupid, Viper. So here we go. Hey, look, it was stupid. Cool. And I'm gonna go through the three that I thought had some amount of logical sense here. One being this. Oh, okay. Throwing the rocks at it. Like, I know that's not it, but like... There's no way it would be this either. Like, it couldn't be this. This is... Nope. I'm hoping the map would work. Yep, let it go all the way to the end. So. I wouldn't think it would be so hard to be like, if you dragged a stabbed and bleeding body across freshly fallen snow, there'd be a bloody track. It shouldn't be a difficult thing to have evidence to show for that, but yet here we are, like, having problems. We already did this one. Oh. For completeness, I suppose. Didn't do this one either. I hate when I'm just... I'm pretty sure I see... This is not what... maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't have the right grasp of it, but I don't know. Oh, it was... Now it was the... What the... Sure. You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible. What? Why would it be here? Why would it be here? This is weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time. Yeah, I know. Why did he say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire. What did he say? The bridge, it was on fire. That's the statement you added last to the testimony. Whatever. You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? Because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. Looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of the real defense attorney. No. Now we got way less health to deal with. That's great. Order, order! The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right. The inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Goodness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Oh, great. The only person here that's truly contemptible is you. Old man. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not does not mean squat right now. What? She has lied consistently to the court. Contradictions, yeah. Like, it's only happened a few times, and it's fine. But like, yeah, there are little gaps like that. It's fine. We'll move it on. However, I ain't moving on past this. She lied a lot. And that matters. Because if she lied about a ton of the details of her testimony, why are we trusting that the one point that supports your case is not a lie? Huh? Squat. The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. Really? First, the body of Elise Do-Nothing was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. This is factual, yes. Second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Do-Nothing's body. He makes a good point on both accounts. But that's right, I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy. You stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It's only human to err. You're so perfect, Trey. Maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Not exactly, no. Now there must be some kind of way she got across that burnt-out bridge, but unless I can somehow demonstrate it, I'll never know the truth. Looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. Wait, why do we have to prove this? Why doesn't Godot have to prove this? Why do we have to prove how the body got from point A to point B? If we're both just trying to get the truth here, why is it all on us? You're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Yes, we are? Whatever. Your coffee distractions. Alright then, witness. Let's hear your testimony once more. What, Your Honor? You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. This be her final testimony? Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Doesn't really matter that much. But are you saying that there's a way to cross a burning bridge? That's quite the testimony. So it's just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from a lightning blast, taken on the morning after the incident. Wow, Wada certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. Amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. So there's something to discredit this testimony. It's going to be deemed as the truth. Maya would be accused of murder. Right? I'm only going to say this one more time. It's only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination. Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place, it couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said, the body did make it across somehow. But you seem to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped. Terribly sorry, I was wrong. Dot, dot. Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? This is no joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law for a murder trial. Oh, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today? Huh? Well, naturally it was, you see? It's not that easy to remember, is it? If it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation. No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, Trey. What? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. You insist on obsessing over that one statement. Let's see the proof. There was some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing? There was. I don't think you'd call something like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. All this way, I owe it to everyone to figure this out. How do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's okay. I'll start by examining all my evidence, see what this takes me. I'll be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. Gotta follow the gut, you know? Sometimes. Dead body flying over a burning bridge. Wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Imbuing uses certain stones that you can get that give it an extra passive. You can then later replace that stone, but it does not get the stone back. So, like, that's how imbuing works, to the best of my knowledge. Like, if you have a crit damage up stone and you put it in a weapon, now that weapon has crit damage up. Yay! But then if you find a, I don't know, rupees gained up, I don't know, you can put it in there, and then you'll now have rupees gained up, but you'll lose the crit gain up and the stone. You won't get the stone back. It is a destructive replacement. Huh, you're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible at your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I was about to say, were you not here yesterday? But he wasn't, so. Well, you seem to have one slot. Like, maybe you can gain slots later on, but it seems like one slot. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous. Who is it? Who is this witness? Can't chicken out here. Gotta keep on the attack and go, go, go. Miss Elise Do-Nothing's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Apprentice? Also, hey bots, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland and the I'm not screwing up anything here. Remember what he said in his testimony? Yeah, I have found very few. Excuse me. That night he was at the mountain shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. You've all seen the sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? Using this pathetic scribble to support your argument. Wow, Judge finally being harsh, and it had to be now at me? Uh-oh. Judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Well, try it. There's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. You're so eager to turn this case upside down. Why not start with this sketch? Upside down? Why did Godot say that? Oh, yeah, because, you know, why fly when you can Tarzan? Alright, then let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. This sketch, drawn by Larice Do-Nothing, is exactly what happened. Of course the victim was flying. Oh. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh. You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness. What? That's the last thing I wanted to hear. Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air? No, we don't, because that's not what happened, but it's fine. Just so you know, they haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet. Wish they had. Like, I get what happened, but I misunderstood the options. Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. Think we should skip the penalty this time? Must be some way, just know it. I mean, the fact that they constantly show him waking up like that kind of implied that it was upside down, as did the fact that the wires went up, which would only be the case looking at it from the bottom. Must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened. Alright then, the witness will now return to her testimony. Yes, Your Honor. So he's just picking up one of the other options. Okay. We'll go with complete. We can't say evidence of nothing because that's obviously false. Complete contradiction? Something is obviously funny about this sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Larius Do-Nothing stated it over and over, that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we were to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. Contradicts reality? It's getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Trite. What exactly contradicts reality as we know it? Yes? I mean, let's just go with the obvious here. This flying figure, naturally. After all, people haven't learned to fly yet. Or did I miss something? Mr. Wright, that answer just now was lethal. What? Right, after dragging us all the way to this point, that answer was embarrassing. So embarrassing, I'm actually blushing. Blushing only suits women, not the elderly. Anyway, what now? Point to something else. I understand. I get it. I just don't know what to point to, okay? This. Is this wire connected to the bridge? The wire? Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. It shows the reality it's supposedly conflicts with. Shows something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. The new picture? Where the wires are underneath? Photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes. Now, compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. On the actual Dusky Bridge, jumping to Jehoshaphat, the wires are below the guard wires. What? Order. This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong? Perhaps he just drew it wrong. Either way, sounds like you're just wrong. Someone like Larice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Larice was doing when you witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Ponder what sort of position Larice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. So lying on his back, can't see how it relates, but it does, Your Honor. This is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Stack of paper with clock now, quite a bit. It's only slightly worse for wear, and it's only because I keep just kind of not setting it aside gently. It's my own fault. Ah. No way. Larice Do Nothing witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. I know, you hinted at it like 9 times. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Larice Do Nothing's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Ridiculous! Okay, all his spit take sounds are great. All the things to say. Pendulum. The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done. Think about this for a minute, shall we? The Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with the pendulum, you'd need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead. Lightning strike that night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared that rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. Saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create the pendulum? Right, yes. The meaning of this is, you want to know where the rope came from? It's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, One of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around at least Do-Nothing's body. There you go. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. I love all the explosion sounds of the text as he's just chugging coffee. Mr. Godot. How deep is that cup? Seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. Seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high. So suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. Look at him. How is there still coffee in that cup? Possible or impossible? It's not the question we need to ask. It's only one question. Did that really happen? Try it. Wonder if you can prove what happened. Can you prove it didn't happen? We just proved all the ways it feasibly could. Can you prove it didn't? If not, shut the... sit down. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? And do you know what? I actually do. Just to shut you the hell up. I do. But, shut up. Or present my evidence. Let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the inner temple. So then, that was the spot where the criminal... Yes, precisely. Now, let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. The body was pushed from this point here. It would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank. What makes you think something like that happened? Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance. And we also could have just shown the flippin' autopsy report too. What kind of evidence? Take a look at this. The autopsy report. I'm glad that it let me use the gem too, though, because both prove it, and I'm glad they let me use the gem because that was my first. Excuse me, first thought. Damn, hiccups, could you stop? It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after a down. 10 feet, huh? It's most likely the height difference between the two sides. Body overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose. Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. The one that came off of Miss Elise Do-Nothing's staff. Even more important, it's the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. Crystal was found... precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You provided us with a way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright. This cold coffee might help cool you down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trent. You forgot about one thing. What would that be? The aroma. Coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more? The criminal had sent the body to the other side like you said. Then naturally, there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. Accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross the dusky bridge. So who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trite? Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Save the game. I mean, I know who it has to be, but, you know, I've known things before and been wrong anyway. Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice. Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple side? It can only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it. Right? Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. Cool. Right. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if that night the defendant was in two different places at the same time. I need like a button I can push for an echo effect. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? Mention what? Pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known. No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum. But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help, so you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with. What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple. Are you serious, Straight? You mean, this woman is... There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand. The real name is... This would be the perfect time to be like... Pearl Fay! No, sorry, Godot! Never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. I knew it was Pearl's master plan. You're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless. Just your imagination, perhaps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago. My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, but according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. This her execution was carried out last month. So what? Death has no meaning in its courtroom. People are on trial for murder. Death has no meaning in this courtroom. I get what he's saying. I get the reveal to the judge, but like that quote, man. Sir, we are in a murder trial. What? Order. Wait a minute, moment. How can you... My sister, she's already dead? Well, what kind of... You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body. Korean channeling technique? Where have I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone? Very night of the murder, to a temple where her twin sister, Iris, was. Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens? We're supposed to believe that somebody can change their story 9,000 times in a testimony, but the core part of it will still be true as long as it supports you? Shut up and sit down, Coffee Man. Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. All written right here on these instructions. What's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. Part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. Two of them? Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell. In other words, 10 p.m. You wouldn't believe the diaper situation he's got going on. Puts those guys from Yakuza to shame. Also, if he's actually back from the dead, maybe his just intestinal tract just doesn't work very well, and like it all just pumps out into like another like warm coffee container on the side. Who knows? Well, how do I know he's not mostly cyborg and it's just a constant loop of coffee? However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris sister Bikini saw at the inner temple someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, Trey? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans to talk about it. However, there's only one thing that's perfectly clear. Witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. So later that the body was moved by the pendulum. Right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose. Can't deny any of that. Whew, thank goodness. Looks like he's finally convinced. Something still seems off. Way off. I'm not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night. Huh. Suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switch places? Switch places? To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we cannot continue with this trial. You know what? He's right. He doesn't understand a lot of things, but that's an important one. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne? Yeah, the earthquake, where she ran off. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. So, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? Excuse me, sorry. What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murderer suspect time to move about freely like that? I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris a chance to freely move about was... Oh, we about to throw him under just a big honking bus. Oh, sorry, Edgeworth. Second. Well, you don't deserve this. But the case, it needs to happen. This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake? We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling and... Be quiet. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge. That voice. Guess I still have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, I always ask for her name and profession. It's one of my rules. Leah Hawthorne. My current profession? Permanently retired. So you're not gonna bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me. I mean, she's not wrong. She's already been executed. If you punish her now, you only actually punish the body she's inhabiting via spirit channeling. You can't do anything to her. What's going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. Never thought we'd meet again. I never thought we'd meet like this. Oh no, if you were gonna meet again, it was gonna be like this. Like, ignoring the fact that the game is a court game, you were only ever gonna see her again, either dead, in court, or both, apparently. So, you know. Call the Ghostbusters. This time I'll end it, for her and for myself. What? No! Okay. Is this something we can feasibly finish in 40 minutes? Or is this a, we should do this next time on Dragon Ball Z? Probably not. Okay. Then next week, we'll finish this. If we finish early, I'll start Ghost Trick. If we don't finish early, then perfect. That means I even more so made the right call. So, cool. That's a perfect ending spot. This whole thing is a whole bit. I assumed that. Afro had already told me this was a very long case. So I knew ahead of time this was not a short one. And that's okay. That's why I double checked with people who knew and is like, cool. That's just such a good ending spot. I'd hate to have to do it in the middle of something where it's like, what happened last week? What am I doing? Where am I? Like, this is the spot. The good place. All right. The plot thickens. Dahlia continues to be just the worst. Like, she's just the worst. But, you know, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? Except for Pearl. Pearl's the exception. Pearl's the exception, now and always. I mean, maybe she won't be when she grows up, who knows? But, like, Pearl's 4. Like, it's like 6 by now, but still, whatever. Like, yeah. Pearl, no. Pearl's the best. Except for her voice. I should not have chosen that voice for her. I made that mistake. 8, okay. I thought she was 4 in the first, when we met her. She was older than that. This is perfect. Yeah, except for when I have to bounce between Phoenix, Edgeworth, Pearl. It's like, no, just make it stop. Phoenix, Edgeworth, Pearl, Maya. It's like, no. Why did I choose this? Why did I do this? At least I feel like I always have to commit to protagonist is just my voice. Because, like, I have to. It would be too much. Too much. Just gotta go standard voice. That's the rule. For now, we got ourselves a monster, a quote, a Discord. We obviously have... You know, we've been raided a bunch the past few nights. If we're ending early especially, I gotta see if I can pass forward. I've been meaning to pass it forward anyway, but like really gotta, like we have no excuse tonight. Is there anyone I know going? Uh, one person. Actually a local friend. We haven't met up in person, but a local streamer playing some World of Warcraft, so gonna toss things her way. I was hoping Jude was gonna be on so I could pass it to Jude, but you know, whatever. Got the few. Oh, probably, yeah. That's what you're doing with a group. Uh, before we toss right over, tomorrow we're doing Grand Blue or Relink. Tuesday is going to be Yakuza. Thursday, Friday is going to be some combination of Yakuza and Relink. I guess I'll check what day works better for Relink for people, and we'll do Yakuza the other day. That's as far as the plan has been for right now. Copy and paste the list. I feel like I haven't raided in too long, which is a problem. I need to raid more often when I'm ending. I also need to commit to being able to raid when I'm like, sorry, gotta go to bed, work. I gotta just be able to commit to that, but whatever. Yes. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Been a good heckin' night. First half of Thursday. Okay. Then that leans to Friday, unless it sounds like everyone else can only do Thursday, in which case we'll make it work. It sounds like it'll be a Thursday Yakuza, Friday Grand Blue. But I'll check with other people to make sure before cementing it. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. This has been Viper of Viperland. Having a good time, solving some cases, definitely getting nothing wrong, ever. And I'll see you all next time.